venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz has released the third edition of their top 100 generative AI consumer apps list. So every 6 months, Andreessen Horowitz looks at data to rank the top 50, what they call, quote, AI first web products. And they do this by looking at unique monthly visits, and the top 50 AI first mobile apps, which they rate based on monthly active users. So, a couple interesting things to come out of the most recent one. Compared to their report that they released in March 2024, the company says nearly 30% of the products on the list right now are new ones. Now, predictably, perhaps ChatGPT tops both the web and mobile list as the most popular product, but the similarities kind of end there. So, on the web, the top 5 products are ChatGPT, Character AI, Perplexity, Claude, and then Suno, the music generation app. On mobile, the top 5 are quite different. ChatGPT is the only similarity at number 1. Then Microsoft Edge, an app called Photomath, which solves math homework with AI. Nova, which appears to be an AI assistant powered by ChatGPT, and Bing. Now, the company also took a look at some of the trends coming out of their data and out of the rankings lists. These include things like, first, creative tools are dominating the list. 52% of the tools on the web list are related to creative tasks. 58% of the new tools on the list this time around are creative tools. For instance, content editing is the most popular use case for products coming out on mobile. Second, there was a new category of products that appeared this time around, what they call aesthetics and dating. This includes an app called LooksMax that analyzes a user's photo to offer tips on how they can become more attractive. It will even go as far as to analyze your voice to help you do that. And then another big trend is that Discord is driving a lot of the growth of these products. In many cases, Discord traffic, says Andreessen Horowitz, is a leading indicator for apps that will climb the web and mobile ranks, especially when it comes to content generation. So, Paul, as you are looking at this list, and we've tracked multiple of these lists over the last few months, did any apps or trends stand out to you here?
Um, from a trends perspective, I'll start there. The rise of kind of multimodality
Mm,
is very apparent. You know, you mentioned it that how things are evolving from a standpoint of like image and video. So they said the majority of content generation tools previously focused on image. Over the last 6 months, other modalities have gained steam. Image gen only represents 41% of the top content gen sites. The 5 generation tools that made the list for the first time. There was CArt is the only image one. You had Luma, Vigil, and VidNaz from a video. Music had Udio, Suno's on the list as
mm,
well. So it's like you're starting to see those modalities and even go back to the campaigns GPT and the exposure level. This is part of it. There's an exposure level for image, there's an exposure level for video, exposure level for audio, including music. And again, the idea here is many of these modalities are standalone apps right now. So we're
mm.
seeing advancements in video, and videos honestly aren't that good yet. Like video gen tools, you see these amazing demos and it like looks awesome, but the reality is it's really, really slow. So if you want to create something in Gen 3 from Runway or Loom or whatever, you may be waiting hours if you're in a queue for these things to generate. And then they'll do like 5 seconds at a time. And it's really hard to get the consistency. So like these are very early. Like, don't think that just because these tools are rising that this is all solved and like, this stuff is consumer grade and ready to go. But it's early indicators that these tools are becoming more and more popular, even though these are like first generation versions of what we're seeing in these capabilities. It's kind of surprised not to see Runway on the list. Like we talk a
Mm.
lot about Runway, and they've got the Gen 3 video, but I mean, maybe it's just more of a business tool, or maybe it's more cost prohibitive at this point. The other trend was the rise of Perplexity, the continued rise of Perplexity, becoming more popular with consumers, not just within kind of the AI circles and business circles, but becoming more of a consumer application. Anthropic's Claude, continues to rise. The one thing I found fascinating, I guess I didn't even thought about this, is TikTok's parent company, ByteDance,
Mm.
making a push. And There's a couple reasons I thought this might be happening. One could be the threat to TikTok, and so they're diversifying into all these other areas. But ByteDance had 3 of its apps debut on the list. There's the edtech platform Goth, number 44. There's a bot builder called Coz or Cozy, and then a general assistant called Dubao. Um, and then they actually had a total of 6, so they had 3 other apps. So
Mm.
this was news to me. Like, I didn't realize ByteDance was kinda infiltrating through all these AI apps, but apparently they launched an R&D division called Flow in 2023 that's focused on building generative AI applications. So that kinda made sense. Um, you mentioned the Looks Max and Umax.
My
Oh my
God.
I just I again, sometimes I just feel really old. Like, I can't even I totally get that this is doable and the
Uh,
technology allows this, but people are paying $5 a month apparently to have AI show you what you'd look like as a 10 out of 10, like how your looks need to change so you would rate as a 10 out of 10 and how to make your voice more attractive. Like I just I don't know. I just
the voice thing was wild to me.
yeah, I maybe I can get my voice to make me sound taller.
Yeah.
Um, and then
There you
there's
go.
Then there was one called Riz, which, I have a 12-year-old and an 11-year-old. I hear the term Riz like 20 times a day. Riz, on the other hand, focuses on up-leveling dating app messages. Users can upload a conversation, screenshot, or profile and get suggestions on what to say. Then there was one that came in at number 11 on the Gen AI web products, Spicy Chat. I did not go to that app and see what that one's all about, but I can imagine. Um, so yeah, I guess my one overall take is like my personal use and awareness is quite low of the top 50. Like, when you look at the top 10 in web products, ChatGPT, Character.ai, Perplexity, Claude, Suno, I'm familiar with all of those. Quillbot, Poe, I know those. But once you start getting beyond that,
Mhm.
I mean, Hugging Face, 11 Labs, Luma, I know all those. But when you go into the mobile app side, I don't know, like, I was familiar with, like, 4 of them. Like, there's this whole generation of these, Gen AI mobile apps that are emerging, and I I'm blissfully unaware, I think, of a lot of them because I think a lot of them are being more for that kinda the dating scene and the personalized characters and things that I'm just not living in that world right now. Um I would say I would love to see a business list like this. I don't know. I don't think they've done it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one, but like our data from the State of Marketing AI report this year kind of jives with some of this. So we had ChatGPT is by far the most popular Gen AI platform in businesses. And then when we asked favorite AI tools, you had ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Google Gemini, Adobe Firefly, Canva, Descript,
Yeah.
Grammarly. So yeah, I don't know, it's cool. Like I think I would recommend people go check it out. They've got some really, simple visuals you can look at. And then the way they did it, I don't think did I say this yet? The way they determine it is for web apps, they look at unique monthly visits per similar web, and
Mm.
their data is from July 2024, so it's fresh data. And then for the mobile apps, they look at monthly active users per sensor tower, which I've never heard of, but that's apparently the data source for how they evaluate these things.
Yeah, it's quite eye-opening to me and really just proves a point that we've talked about previously is like clearly these apps are skewed towards like Gen Z or younger. So your kids of any of that generation are going to be are living an AI first lifestyle, whether they know they're using it or not.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen on like TikTok and Twitter, just in the last week, I've been seeing a lot of these videos of college today
Mm.
where they've got their laptops, and this is like filmed in classrooms, and they're taking a video with their phone of their laptop. The laptop has AI running that's recording everything the professor is saying and even seeing the board, and then doing analysis in real time, solving problems in real time on there. So they're using Gen AI assistants in the classroom in real time to solve things and learn things and like explain things in different ways. I mean, we are in a paradigm shift in education, and I just don't think we're as a society generally aware of how transformational this is going to be. And then when you look at these lists, you start to realize how throughout society, communications, information gathering, relationship building, like all of it is just getting fundamentally reinvented before our eyes. And I don't know that we're until you zoom out, you become aware of how significant the change is.